How many times have you thought that why my connection request is not getting accepted whenever I'm sending to my ICP? The obvious reason is your headline. As you can see, I have somewhere around 91 connections pending. Now just imagine, just change the position. Just imagine myself as a CEO, and then you sent me the connection request, and I didn't accept it because on the every other day, I keep on receiving a lot of requests on LinkedIn, and you think that I have time as a CEO to visit anybody's profile completely? No. Well, I have a limited time where I have to see how much time I can invest in particular person profile. If that person's profile resonates with what I'm looking for, only then I will go and open the profile. But before that, how can you grab the attention of your ICP without they even looking or opening your complete profile? And the reason is, or you can say, the main point is your headline. As you can see, Shravani Mudbi has sent me connection request, and I can see that she is into investment and deal flow associate, business development, digital marketer. Balaji R, expertise in SEO, SMO, social media management, content marketing, branding. Raj Ratna, digital growth partner, graphic designer, video editor. Bhumi Gurmakni, University of Delhi Women Development Cell. Harsimar Singh, growth hacker, community builder, driven innovation in the Web3 space. Now, did you notice one thing? All of the headlines are general in nature. They are not talking about how their strategies can help their ICP. They are not talking about whom they help with their services. Just by writing SEO strategist, you can't say that like your clientele is everyone in the world. Maybe you help only B2B, maybe you help only B2C companies, maybe you are into pet care, maybe you are into FMCG, or maybe you are into apparel brands. There is nothing mentioned like that. You are not mentioning why do you want to connect with the other person. Now you just have to think that your ICPs are very busy in their day-to-day routine, and then they have very less time to check out the connection request on LinkedIn, and it might be possible that like they do not come on LinkedIn every other day. So let's say they receive 50 requests in a day, and then they check their LinkedIn profile twice a week. That means that after 150 requests, they will come on their LinkedIn profile, and then they will see who from whom they have received the request. That is where your profile will get buried under your competitors, right? So what to do in those cases? You need to work on your headline, but how? By writing expertise in SEO, SMO, social media management, content marketing will not land you your job, will not land you your first freelance gig, will not land you your dream client. Your headline should have to be tangible in nature. It should talk to the people to whom you wanna talk. It should convey the message to the people with whom you wanna start conversation. When you do all these things, it saves time for the other person to decide whether they want to have a real connection with you or not. And once that is done, it increases the chances of getting request approval, right? So how we can make sure that like we write the top killer headline? Do you think that by going on chat gpt, and if I just type down write a killer headline for my LinkedIn profile, and this is my about info, and then I can paste on my about info, do you think that like this will make sense? No. If you do it, then again you will get the very general taglines, very general headlines in nature. Then what is the right method? The right method is this prompt which I have written down, of one page prompt. But before we start using it, first we have to identify what are the headline blueprint that we need to follow when we are structuring down our headline for the LinkedIn profile. So for that, let's talk more in deep. If you want to crack sales from US, UK, Dubai, or from anywhere in the world, if that is your target, then this video is for you. Why a headline matters more than anything? Because it is the number one visibility tool. Now most people forgets that whenever we comment on anybody else profile, let's say I come on my home page and then I see exciting announcement. Jacob has mentioned Dilpreet Sahota, CEO at Trek Health. And then you see, before I read the post, I read CEO at Trek Health. That is what the headline of this person is. Similarly, if I scroll down, Jesse Healy growing D2C brands to 7 and 8 figures. Now you see, this is the type of headline that we have to write, because whenever something comes in your feed, you also check their headline. That is the first most important parameter which drives or which increases the chances of your request approval. Neil Kukreti, founder, Crypto Jargon, building Fed habit, decoding cryptocurrency. So that is how you have to structure down, because there are so many things through which people look at your profile, or I should say they glance at your profile. Now one more important parameter which every one of us forgets is, if you click on view profile, and then if you go into show analytics section, and then if you click on appearance, search appearance, so this shows that how many search appearances you have got in the last 7 days. So I've got like 143, but I have got 1166 appearances in the last 7 days. Now what does this mean? This means that how many times my profile has been shown in others feed in any format on LinkedIn. And what are those formats? Those formats are, when my post grab the attention of other people, that means that when my post reach the home feed of my connections, or maybe of my connections of connections, that means the second network or the third network or the second degree or the third degree. Then my comments gave me 28.6% appearances. That means whenever you comment and it is seen by other people, that is where my appearance got increased. And now whenever you comment on someone else's profile, so let's go back to LinkedIn. You see, over here I got this notification on my home feed. Krishna Kumar commented on this, and then I can see what he commented. Cool, but I can also see born in Mithila, building for the world, BDE5ir.org. That is what I got to know about this person from just his comment. So without opening the profile, I again got to know what Krishna is doing and how Krishna is helping on the LinkedIn world. That is what the data is saying. Then from the network recommendations, I got 15.7% appearances, and from the search, I got 12.3%. That means people searched my LinkedIn profile, people searched some keyword, and then my LinkedIn profile appeared at the top position. That is why I've got 12.3% appearances. 12.3% is somewhere around 143 appearances only with the help of search. That I will definitely talk about in the next video, where I'll dive you through how to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that you secure the most searches. But the most important part over here is that how to write the LinkedIn headlines, so that whenever our profile appears in someone else's connection or someone else's home feed, then we should be in their mind at all the time, and they can't resist to accept our connection request. So for that, we have to understand that headline is the number one visibility tool that we have already checked out just now. And then it appears in search results, requests, comments, and then whenever someone sees a comment or post, they also see the headline. So that is why optimizing the headline is a very important parameter here. Now, before you write down your killer headline, you first have to identify, or you first have to ask yourself, does people really read your complete profile? No. They just scan. They just glance at your profile. That's it. They only have 3 seconds, that we already talked about in the last video, where we saw that people, how they react to a new LinkedIn profile. They only look at 3 seconds. So all you have to do is you just have those 3 seconds to grab the attention of a user. And in those 3 seconds, all you have to do is you have to optimize your LinkedIn headline first. Then, is your LinkedIn headline following the answers of these questions? Who do you help? What value do you offer? What outcome do you create? If your LinkedIn headline answers all these 3 questions in just 2 sentences, in just 2 lines, that means that your LinkedIn headline is now very powerful. For example, if I just go back to LinkedIn, and then we saw, I think we lost it. One of the profile that just appeared on my home feed. Okay, let me just scroll down a little bit more. Okay, for example, like Chris Manano, I'm not connected to this person. Now, if you look at his headline, it says that scaling 7 to 8 figure DTC brands profitably. So now let's ask these questions and let's compare the headline with that. Who do you help? So did I get the answer? Yes, he is helping DTC brands. What is the second question? What value do you offer? He offers a value where he helped to scale DTC brands beyond 7 and 8 figures. So again I got to know what outcome does he create. So he creates 7 and 8 figure revenue. That is how your headline should answer all these questions. So what value you can provide, what outcome you can bring to the table, how you can help your ICP. If these three questions have been answered by your headline, that means that you have chosen the right headline. But do not make this mistake where you just list down your job title. For example, the one that we saw in the network connection request. So as I can see, expertise in SEO, SMO, SMM, content marketing, branding. No, these are just the skill set that you possess in your uh, working life, in your corporate culture. But if you want to build your personal brand, if you want to land your dream client, then this is not the right method to show all these things, because there can be so many people on LinkedIn who are the SEO expert. Why I should hire you? That I didn't get the answer from your profile, from your headline. So that is why we should refrain ourselves from writing our job titles. Now if this thing is clear, then we can move further. Otherwise I would suggest you to spend some more time in identifying the find the right headline. So before you find out the right headline for your profile, just go and randomly picks up 10 to 20 profiles, then ask these questions, write down their headline, and then ask these questions and then see how their headline is answering answering all the answers for all these three questions. After that, I have this formula, this examples as well, that can help you definitely to structure down your headline format. So how you can do it? For example, like look at the headline example number 1, helping coaches book more clients on LinkedIn. So is my ICP clear? Yes. With this headline, I'm helping coaches. Now they can be like different coaches, but right now I have actually mentioned down like I help coaches. So the first question is already clear. Who do you help? What value do you offer? I offer them to book clients on LinkedIn via organic methods, right? So I can definitely refine it, helping coaches book more clients on LinkedIn by organic ways. So this is the value that I offer. By organically, I can help you book more clients. What outcome do you create? Now this is missing. That what outcome I can create for you. So that is what you have to figure it out. Like which thing is missing inside your headline. Then look at the example number 2, fractional CMO for SaaS startups. So who do you help? Whom I help? SaaS startups is the industry which I help. What value do you offer? So I've offered scale 3 brands to 1 million ARR. That is what value I can bring to the table. What outcome do you create? Now, if you look at this, what outcome do I create? Again, if I talk about in the tangible terms, then this thing is missing. Because outcome should have to be in your in some numbers that can be measured, right? So you have to identify what outcome will be there if the other person will hire me. So what outcome I can bring to the table for his business or for her business. That is what are missing inside these two examples. So not every headline can follow this structure, but sometimes even if you skip one question, one answer of any question, then that's fine, unless and until it is portraying the right message about who you are. So not every time you have to follow this structure, but the more you follow, the better results you will get, because now it adds value. And I am always in the favor of tangible things. If your headline is not talking numbers, then there is no point of writing on the headline, because the other person will be more focused towards getting some specific numbers. And everybody in this world currently in 2025 loves number. Just imagine, just think that whenever you talk to someone, and whenever you, and let's say you have your own business, and whenever you outsource some of your services to other people, what is the first question you ask? What can you achieve in first 3 months? What can you achieve in first 2 months? That means now you're chasing the numbers, because that is what you crave for. Now when you crave for the numbers, how can you expect other person not to crave for the same metric that you are chasing, right? Does that make sense? So you have to identify what type of things you are chasing and how your strategies can help other businesses achieve those numbers. Then what is the first thing that you have to do? I'm going to tell you how to use this prompt now. So what you have to do, you have to understand this prompt in order to write you a killer headline, and I have used this on my own profile as well, and it gave me very powerful headline that I'm going to show you as well. But let us understand how this uh, prompt works. So as I said in the starting, I am building a powerful LinkedIn headline. Please help me write one that is tangible and specific, no fluff. That means no general in nature. Maximum 2 lines. I do not want to write very long paragraphs. I just want very short headline separated by pipe, so that like I can differentiate between the two different things, just like I have written down my headline so far, or you can see that the other people are also using this pipeline, this pipe structure. Then speaks directly to my ICP needs that we have already talked about when we discuss these 3 questions. After that, here's the context that I need. My ideal profile. So you have to fill up this data in order to get you the right headline. So you have to write whom do you help, who use your ICP, be as specific as you can. Provide all the ICPs that you think that you want to target or you are currently targeting. Then the number one problem you solve for them. After you have identified your ICP, then you have to identify which is the first problem you solve for them, the number one problem. It might be possible that like you solve 10 of different problems, but what is the first problem that you solve for them? Is it let's say you are an SEO expert and you are solving the problem of identifying transactional keywords. So you can say that like I can improve the percentage of transactional keywords. That is the number one problem you are solving, because these companies or your ICPs are ranking for the information keywords, and that is not driving traffic, and that is not driving revenue to their business. So now you can say that like I can help you rank for the transactional keywords, because that is where the revenue will come up for your business. So be clear about the problems that you are solving for them. Then why should they trust me? That means over here the credibility and the trustability factor. Why they should trust you? So you have to provide the pointers. Maybe you can highlight the achievements that you have got in the past, right? But what have I achieved for similar ICPs in the past? If you have a similar category, then definitely you should be writing over here as well. And the same thing you should be writing in the why should they trust you, about your background, about the experience, about the credentials, about the trustability factor, all those things. And then the fifth is the very most important part, which can take your, I think, half a day or maybe complete day. The more you will spend your time in giving the explanation or the examples, that is more beneficial for this prompt to act, because you need to tell your taste. If you do not provide this one, this prompt will still work out, but in that way prompt or the AI will not be able to understand your taste, your thinking point of view. So if you want the the correct headline according to what you are thinking, you have to provide the 5 headlines or the 3 headlines that you think are most powerful on LinkedIn. So you have to spend some time. I did this activity yesterday and I spent somewhere around 2 to 3 hours in identifying the right headline of my competitors. So basically I vet out 100 profiles, and out of those 100 profiles I just chose just 3 profiles. So you have to spend some time. I know it's a bit tricky task, but you have to consider that you are not gonna change your headline in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months. That means that once you have identified your headline, after that you are not gonna change it, right? So in those cases, spend some time, identify the right headlines according to your ICP, look out your competitors, look out the profiles that is ranking for the keywords that you want to rank yourself for, and then check out those 5 headlines and then paste it. Once you do it, after that you have to paste down this prompt inside ChatGPT or DeepSeek, whichever you prefer, and then it will gonna give you a very killer headline for your profile. So yesterday I did this activity and I can show you that how this thing works. So you can see that I use the same prompt. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So now let me just refresh it. So now you can see that like I use the same prompt. I'm building a powerful headline. Please help me write one that is. And then I provided the information about my ICP CEOs of Web3 companies who want to improve their marketing or launch new GTM strategy. The number one problem I solve for them, I help them craft marketing strategies which changes revenue metrics other than vanity metrics and focusing on adding revenue to the table. Why should they trust me? I have proven results. 50 million impressions generated during TG event of AI based company, collected 30k users for the airdrop program, also secured top 3 position in the Google searches for crypto tax software. Then what have I achieved for similar ICPs in the past? Real tangible results like help 15 coaches get 100 plus leads per month. Headlines I love. So these are the 3 headlines that I provided, and on the basis of that, LinkedIn gave me this. Web3 fractional CMO helped crypto CEOs add dollar plus revenue via GTM, SEO and community led growth. Now this makes sense because if I write down help crypto CEOs add, let's say 2 million plus revenue via GTM, SEO and community led growth. Now this is tangible in nature because now I'm targeting, I'm directly talking in terms of numbers, that how my strategies help my previous company in achieving 2 million plus revenue, and which strategy I used. I used GTM, I created with the help of SEO and community led growth. And then I'm also specifying that I am a Web3 fractional CMO. By writing down, I am indicating what type of service I do provide. Then if you want to have some more variations, then again you can go ahead and like check it out. Fractional CMO for Web3 founders, built viral brands that attract users, raise capital and drive revenue. I didn't like this one. First thing, there are no numbers. Then fractional CMO for Web3 founders, the same thing can be written by Web3 fractional CMO. That is completely fine. So there is no point of wasting down the space, because if you go back to your LinkedIn, then you can see that like whenever you send connection request to someone, you have a very limited space. So that means that you can't waste space in the spacing part, right? Then for team building, this is the next headline that I've got. Web3 growth strategist. Yeah, this is absolutely fine. Built GTM teams that drove 30k plus users and 2 million in revenue for crypto startups. So instead of writing down teams, I could have written down build GTM strategies that drove 30k plus users. Now this makes sense because now I'm talking about with my GTM strategy, I drove somewhere around 30k plus users and added 2 million in revenue for crypto startups. So that is where once people will see my headline, they will open the profile, and that is what I always wanted. That after looking at my connection request, I want them to open my profile so that like they can read more about me, and that is where I can gain their more trust. So for the ranking part and other stuff, I'll definitely talk about. But this video was all about how to make sure that our headline speaks directly to our ICP. So I hope you have liked the video and you have gotten an idea how to write a killer headline for your profile. Don't hurry up. Spend at least one day in identifying the right headline for your profile. Once you have chosen your final headline, ask these 3 questions again. Who do you help? What value do you offer? What outcome do you create? Once you get all the answers of these questions, that is where your headline is to the point.